Squatch seekers of the South, searching for truth, debunking the doubt. The answers are there if the questions don't count. The Squatch seeking seekers of the South. East Central Alabama, near the Georgia line. The mighty Chattahoochee running deep and wide. There's talk of hairy creatures running about, and a group of Squatch seekers steady stalking the South. Whoa, Squatch seekers of the South, searching for truth, debunking the doubt.
I always forget.
Hey guys, welcome back to Squatch Seekers of the South, your crew of mystery seekers
on air,
exploring the mysteries of the woods. Tonight we have Dale Boswell. My name's Jason. We have Chris. We have Jesse. Thank you guys for joining us tonight. If you would, just please like and subscribe to our YouTube page and also follow us on our Facebook page. So what's been going on, guys? What's been going on with you, Chris?
Not a whole lot, really.
Man,
Dealing with Jesse over here.
No, we're going to talk about this fence I got done for him. What we're going to talk about first. I wasn't here last week.
Yeah, he did get it done.
And what'd you say? It looks good too, don't it?
Yeah.
It does look good. We need to take another picture of it. Now it's got orange pumpkins all the way around the dang thing.
24 pumpkins on top of it.
So we're going to have a Halloween party this Friday, I think.
Everybody come to Chris's house.
Are we doing a new group picture? Is that what you're talking about?
No. What are you talking about?
I thought he said Friday. We're doing a...
Yeah, Friday we're having a Halloween party at your house.
That's right.
Yeah, I forgot about that. Everybody's coming.
I did forget about that.
I wasn't invited. So we really having one?
It's a family.
We're not. It's a family.
They're doing like a pumpkin carving or something.
It's a pumpkin carving. Y'all are invited.
Notice he said y'all looking at you, so he means you and Dan. He didn't invite me.
Oh, it looks like we lost Dale. Hopefully he joins back in
He probably upset Chris didn't invite me to the pumpkin carving thing.
Probably so. So what's been going on with you, Jesse?
Dealing with Chris, getting his fence done.
He got pulled over in his Jeep because he refused to fix the taillights.
Yeah.
It has no tag on the back of it. He has a tag somewhere, but it's not on the back of it.
I did not know my taillights had went out on my Jeep. We did go out the other night.
We literally thought that your tag had fell off on the dirt road.
We really thought we was going to go back to Ghost Town.
This dude don't have no taillights. He ain't got no tag.
No.
And just so you know, I watched you on 360 go all the way home. I seen you didn't stop. I was looking to see if you. I figured if you were stopped, that mean you were pulled over.
See, that's how close me and Chris are. We got each other on live 360.
Are you back, Dale?
We used it one time. He said, "All right, I'm gonna delete it when we're done."
Yeah, I'm back. Sorry about that. I hit a button by accident.
No problem.
I was following Jim's instructions. No, not really. But
yeah, we're just talking.
How y'all doing? I didn't get to say hello.
Yeah, we're doing good.
We're doing good.
You look good. You like you're having a good day.
Looks like
I've been busy all day. Did an interview earlier. I don't know if y'all caught any of that. Well, that was a lot of fun with a fellow named Barnaby Jones. You know, Barnaby? Y'all remember Barnaby Jones on TV? That was Andy Griffith, wasn't it?
Yeah, it's a detective show, right?
Yeah. But I thought that was kind of cool. I ain't never met. I met a lot of Gomer and Goober and Gomer Pop. I ain't never met Barnaby Jones. That's pretty cool.
He wasn't really from that show, was he?
No, I guess I don't know. I meant to ask him if that was his real name or not.
Yeah,
that's the name he goes by. Monsters on the Edge. It's a nice podcast.
Yeah, I tuned in and watched it. It was very good. You did a good job.
Oh, I'm just rambling, running my mouth like I always do. But
it was
getting dates wrong, this and that, the other. But y'all keep me straight, and I know where my home base is right here.
I hear you.
Bradley's on. What's up, Bradley?
Bradley, you should have joined us tonight because we don't have a whole lot of good topics to talk about, and it's pulling teeth to get these two to talk.
We have a lot to talk about. We're going to talk knife safety tonight because me and Chris just about had an accident a few minutes ago, and We're also going to talk about Chris's belly and why his belly's gotten so big. Again.
It hasn't gotten big.
He likes to go to Krispy Kreme too much.
Yeah.
He blamed it on 3 cruises he went on, but
I ate enough of those 3 cruises for a year.
Yeah.
So what's your excuse now?
I don't have one planned.
Hey, I dropped a little bit since then.
Yeah, we're totally winging it tonight, everybody.
So Dale, I saw that you were on that podcast today, and that's on the Untold Network, I believe, or something like that.
Yeah, it's on Untold Network. Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it's called
Anything
Monsters
else
on the Edge.
Anything else been going on with you this week?
Oh shoot! Robin's been in town all week. I've enjoyed that. She's been out of town for the last several weeks with her daughter helping her out. So she come in town for the last last 8 to 10 days. So I've enjoyed spending time with her, and we just been hanging out and doing stuff.
Glad
So,
she made it back home safe.
Yep.
yeah, she's gone now. She's back in Cocoa Beach now. She had to go back.
Yeah.
Cocoa Beach sounds a lot better than Smith Station, Alabama.
No, it though.
Yeah. It's starting to cool off a little bit though, so that's nice.
It felt good
Oh,
this
it
morning.
felt so great
Good
this morning. It
Lord.
was like 60
Yeah.
degrees. I had the windows down.
I think it was
Hoodie
over
on, it
60.
felt great.
I think it was in the 50s. I think it was low 50s.
Oh wow! And I'm going on a camping trip later this week. A friend of mine, and I went out this morning about 5 or 6 o'clock. Go with Rob, and I stepped my butt out on that front porch, and I'm like, oh my god! And I'm gonna be in the woods in about 3 or 4 days like
Next time
this. So,
Next time you decide to step out on the porch, make sure you put some clothes on.
Yeah.
Just because you live out in the country, I mean, you can walk out on the porch naked.
Won't be as cold.
right. Well, you got naked, and you got naked. Naked means you don't have any clothes on. Naked means you don't have any clothes on, and you're up to something.
Which one were you?
I
Were
was
you naked or naked?
I was in between.
I hear you.
There you go.
Yeah, so we've been trying to get together and plan some camping trips ourselves. We haven't been successful yet.
Yeah,
It is so hard trying to wrangle up a handful of guys to commit to the same weekend.
Yeah, we were just talking the other night while we were out about trying to get up to Tuskegee.
Yeah.
This is private birthday
That
party.
one should be easy. You think?
Private birthday party camp out that I obligated to several months ago. So that's why I'm going on.
So are y'all going to be squatching as well, or just a birthday
Yeah,
party?
we'll be camping out, squatching.
Okay.
Yeah, definitely.
Well, cool. You'll have to tell us all about it when you get back. I'm sure you'll run into some squatchers that we all know. So you'll definitely have to tell us about it.
Yeah, I'm not sure who's going to be up there yet. It's kind of like a surprise birthday party, so I don't even know who's going to be there or not, or who's coming. So I'm excited.
We'll make sure Chris don't show up, because if he shows up, he'll be naked.
Yeah. but the biggest thing I'm excited about is being a musician, and it's going to be in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. If you know anything about music, a lot of music come out of Muscle Shoals, and that's been on my bucket list for a long time to go to Fame Studios and visit where all that music come from. I mean, everybody from Elvis to the Bee Gees to Cher to Dean Martin, everybody recorded right there in Muscle Shoals, Alabama.
That'd be awesome.
Even Strangers in the Night, all that stuff. Even Frank Sinatra recorded that right there in Muscle Shoals, Alabama. So I'm excited about going on a camping trip just to see this too. So.
Yeah. Is Robin going to get to go with you, or is she going to be back at the beach?
No. I'm my buddy Terry Allen, who lives in Sylacauga. He's going to meet, and then we're going to kind of convoy there. So at least I didn't want to go by myself, and she couldn't go with me. And Terry's a good friend, and he's going to go. So we got somebody to follow and depend
Sounds
on.
like it'll be a great weekend. Yeah, so we actually finally did get to go out the other night. We myself, Jeremy, he's actually in the chat, Chris and Jesse showed up, and we had a good time. We went out to
You say showed up like I've never had anything. What's up?
Well, you
Well, I
didn't
mean,
go camping with us last
You,
time.
you have gone a little AWOL here and there.
I've been busy. I went the next day to Flat Rock. Flat Rock, I was there the next day. And I took you some
The
peanuts.
next day or the next weekend?
He was there like an
Next
hour.
weekend. I was there for half the day.
And didn't do no video.
Nothing.
No
Didn't even take a
photos.
picture of anything.
Oh my goodness.
We need content, people. We need content.
That time we went, he was on the way and we left the gate
Dale
open.
Flat Rock said he loves your background if you can't see the comments.
Oh, thank you. It's actually a big old blanket that Robin had made for me for a present. I think Christmas present. It's just got Bigfoot all over it, and I just draped it across the little wall back here. But it's cool.
Yeah,
You know, another one. I shouldn't tell this, but she made one for me for the last conference or the first one. She had it ordered for me. And it's a big old blanket. They just had Bigfoot on it and had Dale Boswell, big words, put across the back of it.
Yeah.
And she left out the W in Boswell.
Uh-oh.
No.
So we got it right. It said Dale Boswell. Something. I never use it.
Yeah, we need to get a better background.
Yeah.
Actually, we need a better studio. We're actually on my back porch, so
What's up,
Hey, I
Dave?
wish I had a back porch. I swapped my blanket for your back porch like that.
yeah, we're definitely gonna have to do something, especially when it gets colder.
Oh, yeah.
We might set up out by a fire.
Yeah, that'll be warmer
That'd be wonderful.
for
Yeah.
a little bit.
Yeah.
So we did get to go out. We went out to Salem. Yeah, Salem,
Yeah,
out to
Salem.
Ghost Town, and we have some property. A guy out there that lives out that way that has some property. We trespassed a little bit.
Not really. I mean,
We went
well,
like 10 feet onto some property we shouldn't have been
Yeah.
on.
Someone went like 200 feet on a piece of property we weren't supposed to be on.
well, apparently the fence was down in that portion.
Yeah, but we did have a good night. We didn't capture a whole lot, but there were a few questionable things that went on. But we did hear as soon as we got onto the piece of property of a friend's house. As soon as we walked in there, there was all this. Woof, 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 woof.
Yeah,
Oh,
I've
yeah.
never, I've
Like,
never
what
had
the
turkey.
heck
I've
is
never
that?
had turkeys fly over me like that at night. That was
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, it was
wild.
ruffling in the trees and hitting the
Wow.
trees and coming over. And for a second, we didn't know what was going on.
Yeah, it's probably had to be 3 or 4 turkeys we ran out of their
Yeah, it was
roost.
several.
Yeah, there was a lot of
That's
wild-
pretty
wild
interesting.
hog. Looked like wild hog rooting up around there.
Yeah.
Because they were like rub. Well, initially we thought it was rubs or something, but Jesse is a more of a hunting outdoorsman than we are. So he's like, this is hogs.
That's what he said. But
This guy
Oh,
over
man.
here, he was definite hog. Chris don't know any different, so okay.
Yeah.
He don't even know how to use a knife, which brings up my next point. We're going to get this out of the way. Let me see the knife you tried to amputate your hand with.
well, you're making that up.
I am not. Anyway, this is the knife that Chris had
They can't even see that.
in his hand.
Look at you. About to cut your ear off. You open
This is why we're doing knife safety. This is the knife that Chris had, and he attempted to open a can with this knife with the blade facing his hand, and he was about to cut it. So,
They probably
This is
said, can y'all
content.
even hear him?
Probably not. He left the microphone.
Yeah, we can hear him.
and attempted to amputate his hand trying to open a can.
Well, let's
So-
demonstrate.
I had to teach him the proper way to open something with a knife, and you want to turn the blade away from you if you're going to peel
Well, they
something back.
It wasn't working.
I got his can
That
open
wouldn't work.
and saved his finger. So always make sure the
should've been there on
blade
that
is
one.
going away from you when you're doing
You should have
anything.
been there on that one.
See, look at
Yeah,
he's got a
yeah,
big old
yeah.
thumb where he tried to cut his thumb off.
No, that wasn't even.
I
That
did.
was
I
a
did.
hammer.
I did
You know,
have to say-
hey, actually,
ahead.
Robin probably whooped me for telling her this, but years ago, she was doing something with a knife, but it should end up cutting her tendons in her little finger right here. And you probably never noticed, but her finger is kind of stuck together. Like her little finger don't move no more than that. Her little
Oh,
finger
wow.
won't straighten out. You won't notice, but it's because she was doing something like you did and cut the tendons. So it was either that or cut her finger off. So it's kind of stayed like that. But you don't never notice, like I say, unless I point out. But I always tell her if she don't behave, I'm gonna hang her on the curtain or something. You know, that finger,
Hey,
I'm gonna hang you up on the wall.
It's probably a lot easier for her to do like shadow animals in the shadow.
Yeah. She wins every time.
But I do want to say that I'm
It's
proud
good
of
for
you.
holding bags and buckets too. Yeah, she can tote a lot of Dollar General buckets on that finger.
Jesus Christ. You ain't even using it.
Bet you put your spit bottle in my
It's
coffee
in that
cup.
bottle. You used to do the same thing to John.
Table's getting flipped tonight.
Get mad at John. John would take spray paint and spray the insides of his bottle so Chris couldn't see it, and he'd still complain.
It is kind of
I
gross.
throw them away every time I leave them.
You gotta spit in something.
I work in the office with, I don't know, there's probably like 130 people in there, and 120 of them are men, and probably 90 of them dip. So they're walking around with dip bottles all over the place, and it's just like,
Yeah, you gotta have something to spit in.
I agree.
Everybody don't smoke
I mean, I'm
cigarettes.
proud that
The
they're
point
spitting in a
is,
container.
you took your spit bottle and set it inside of my coffee cup.
Nothing to get out of it. It's not
My phone went off.
anything. Jesus, he is such a baby tonight.
We're supposed to be talking about Bigfoot.
Anyway,
Allegedly trespass. That's right, Jeremy.
Allegedly.
Allegedly.
that is the word.
Well,
Allegedly.
apparently no cameras were there because we hadn't been put on Facebook yet for being on the wrong property.
We may
Can y'all
have.
still hear me all right? My phone went off.
I have. Yeah, I just posted a video on YouTube shortly ago. I think at 6 o'clock.
Yeah, I didn't agree with the choice of song,
Well,
but I mean,
the
it
thing
was a
just
good video.
automatically picks it.
It was a good video. But we did find a pretty interesting tree structure back there that, if I don't know if somebody had tried to make a makeshift blind to sit in for deer or what, but it was
Interesting
it
because
was very interesting.
it was teepee
shaped.
looking. Yeah, and I actually saw it last year. I don't even know what month or whatnot, but I videoed it last year.
No, I'm talking about the one out there.
On the road? Yeah. He's talking about on the road.
Yeah,
Okay.
you weren't there when we saw the other one, but there was another one before you got there that I found last year, which is in the video. And we went back this year to see if it was still there, added to or gone or whatnot, but it was still basically the same. But all of them were like leaning into each other from all different directions. So it doesn't really appear to be storm related, because it would be odd that they would all be pointing different directions. You would think they would all be leaning over to one direction, but I don't know. It was interesting to look at. But whenever the alleged trespassing happened, Jeremy was away from us probably about, I don't know what, 100 yards, 200 yards, something like that, on top of a hill. And Jeremy does a really good whoop and a howl. And he was out there and did that. And then all of a sudden we heard tons of coyotes sounding off.
Yeah, apparently he upset them coyotes.
He upset a few things in the woods.
And that is correct, Jeremy. That is the one I was speaking of.
Yeah. So whenever the coyotes went off, we were like, we were in Ghost Town at that point. We were just on a dirt road, walking down the dirt road. We decided to go ahead and go over to the property that we have access to, which was kind of in the direction of where we were hearing the coyotes sound off. And then that's where Jesse found a structure out there. So you can talk about that more now if you want.
I found the structure.
You found the structure.
But he allegedly found the other half of the skull that he got upset about, thinking I was going to take credit for it.
So what about the structure? I heard you say, don't touch it. Look for hairs.
Exactly. I believe me and you had walked up to it.
No,
first.
it was you and Jeremy, I
Me
think.
and Jeremy?
Yeah.
I told Jeremy not to touch it. We got our flashlights and stuff on there and tried to examine it a pretty good bit for hairs or any greasy handprints or anything like that on it. But it was probably 15, 16 feet tall, probably altogether.
Check out the video.
Yeah, it's in the video.
There's a picture of it on there.
It's pretty wild. There was probably
It was just weird that there were
7, 8, 9 trees that are probably, I don't know, maybe a foot at the most in diameter, and they're just all crossed and has some tree limbs and stuff, very thick tree limbs pulled over into it that were, bedded down in it. And the trees were apparently broken. They were not chopped or cut, and they were just kind of like shoved down into the ground at different angles, and it's the inside of it was probably about 10 feet tall. You could stand up in it.
Yeah, it was weird because that one side had like 5 or 6 kind of stacked right there, kind of onto each other. And you would think if it was weather related or something like that, that you wouldn't have 5 or 6.
Yeah. And I didn't notice any stumps or anything directly nearby, so they were definitely picked up and moved to that.
Is that the one that had the fresh trees in it?
Yes.
And there were some tree limbs that were bent over that were still green.
That were stuck into it.
Yeah, that were stuck into it too.
Yeah, it's 3 sides, basically a teepee. I mean, you could say one area of the side was completely closed in, and one side was open. You could walk into the structure. Hence why I said that, you know, somebody could try to make a makeshift ground blind out of trees. But it'd take a strong, very big man to move some of those logs into place like that.
Yeah, and I believe you said it, but Jeremy said that there was a live tree bent into it as well. There were a couple, even once you got away from that particular structure, I found a couple other single, like just tree bends with like another stick kind of wedging it to where it stayed bent down to the ground. So I don't know.
And there was one that had the little limbs all peeled off that we found, but it could have been that tree could have fell. That limb fell out of that tree, but that was still.
You talking about where all the leaves are on the ground too?
Yeah,
yeah, and they were still green. So that was a little interesting.
That
So
does sound cool.
Yeah, we got up to this piece of property. It's a lot of hills and valleys, creeks, and different things, but we have a spot that we go to that's kind of the highest spot on the land that's right there, and everything else kind of drops off around it. So we just kind of set up there for, I don't know, a couple hours, I think.
it was at least a couple. Well, when we got back to the recorder, it was right at 2 hours, just shy of 2 hours.
Yeah, and then all hell broke loose when Chris got hit by an acorn. Guns started coming out.
But I did take mine from the rear position and put it to the front position.
Look, I was on the ground and it hit me in the crotch area. So I don't even know how it came above.
Like this, like airborne.
Yeah. Well, what about the rock or something that came through?
A rock or a very petrified piece of wood did come flying in.
Well, I mean, because it hit the tree and it was a loud. Yeah. Like if you picked up a rock, a little small hand-sized rock, and threw it as hard as you can at a tree, the sound that would make. So we heard that, and it was like right there where we were sitting at. But then we heard the rock land like, I don't know, another 10, 15, 20 feet away.
And this was after Jeremy was doing a couple of howls, and I think me and him both had screamed a couple of times, and it kind of got a little quiet.
When they say scream, they don't mean like, ah.
No.
They're talking about like howls and whoops and stuff like that.
If Jeremy was here, I would get him to on air.
Oh, yeah. I got that captured in the video that's on YouTube if y'all want to check that out. But yeah,
I've got a video from a few years ago where back here behind my house, I was walking around. I was standing beside a tree or something, and I was filming. All of a sudden, you hear right on the tree beside me. Just one, like you said, it sounded like a rock hit the tree beside me. I don't hear nothing else falling or anything, or it could have been acorn or what. But it's very clear. I have to shoot you that video, son. But that does freak you out. It will freak you out.
It sounded like it hit the tree that we were sitting by, but it landed way over here. So if something was falling out of the tree, I wouldn't think it would make that noise right where we were at, but then land way over there.
And the way we were set up, sorry.
Well, I was say when it landed, it didn't just land like with a thud. It sounded like it slid across the ground.
Yeah, like it hit and slid or turned or something, maybe like a stick.
And we were hearing other like things in the bushes and whatnot, or howls, or we heard some kind of, we don't know if it was a cat or something. I don't even.
Could have been a very good sized bobcat.
Yeah, it was that yak sound. So I don't know.
And the way we were sitting, we were all facing our backs to the woods and kind of, in a square formation, kind of facing each other. So
we were in the middle of the woods.
Yeah.
So our whole body was facing the woods.
Well, I mean, I'm trying to explain how we were actually sitting.
There were trees right there around us. We were kind of protected somewhat, if you can be protected while in the middle of the woods.
Yeah, when you're talking about possibly buggers chunking rocks and things, even though I truly believe in it, I was just talking about the little thing, but it's just hard to me to imagine something with the hands the size of a baseball mitt can pick up a little tiny rock and be
Yeah.
accurate with it. You know, it'd
That's
be
true.
like me and you trying to throw a little bitty tiny pebble, 10 feet across the room or the yard and hit what you're aiming at, But
Right. Yeah.
I had friends of mine that had been camping and years ago, I think it's in the Sierra Mountains and stuff, but they were having rocks thrown at them and small ones, and they would hit the legs of their chairs that they were sitting in and hit the same leg over and over again. I mean, the leg of the chair, not the foot, it would hit the actual metal part of the chair, So
Yeah, and I mean, there's so many encounters that talk about rocks being thrown too. But I mean, what else would throw a rock?
The precision.
I mean, what other animal do you know in the woods that could potentially throw a rock besides a person? But I don't know. We have a guy that lives around here, and probably about 5 or 6 miles from our location. One of his encounters was he was in a boat in the middle of a pond, and these huge rocks were getting thrown into the pond. So he chalked it up to that. I don't remember his whole entire story. I don't know if he actually saw something as well, but it was either a Bigfoot or something similar to that, or a human just didn't like him.
Just brainstorming in my head. What other mammal has an opposable thumb?
That's true.
Raccoons have
Not
very
opposable,
small
though.
thumb. Well, no,
Is it?
they have a thumb.
Just grab.
But yeah, anything that can actually grasp something with an opposable thumb is an ape.
Yeah, that's true.
Am I wrong? Ape don't have an opposable thumb, do they?
I don't know.
I don't know how opposable it is, but I mean,
Yeah, I don't know.
the closest thing to a human hand is an ape.
Yeah.
Yep. And so
I just don't know if they
this
can
wasn't
use
the
their
first
thumb
time
like
that
this.
Chris has gotten hit by something out there. He got
Yeah.
hit before.
I got hit in the back of the head with. I
Something.
couldn't find what it was, but it hit me hard enough. I kept checking for blood.
Jason hit him in the head with a wrench. Yeah.
You that's
No,
wrong.
he hit me in the back of the head with a wrench.
A socket.
I know. I try to make fun of Chris because that big old scar.
That was
If y'all don't
teeter-totter.
know, Chris is my brother, and he used to terrorize me as a kid. So my defense mechanism was to run like hell, and he would get close, and I would drop down on the ground real quick, and he would hit me and flip over, and I'd get up and run the other way. But yeah, we get along a lot better nowadays. But I do. So speaking of all of that went on, so I did want to bring up that because Jesse was talking about knife safety a while ago. Whenever all that stuff was kind of going down, and we were hearing coyotes also up in there when we were up there for the second time, the topic of gun safety did come up and being tactical. So if something did happen, we didn't just all run in different directions or some crazy stuff like that. So
No, it's hard to do in a scary situation. Always try to keep your wits about you. Try to be in tune with the folks that are with you, and be mindful of which ones, if not all of you, have firearms, and check each other before you go out. Make sure your safeties are on. I would not recommend, if you're not very good with firearms, keeping one chambered with or without the safety on. Always keep everything holstered and put away, unless you think it's the last option you have to use that in any situation. But always have an exit strategy and try to stay as tactical as you can when you move out of a situation that can go bad like that, especially being out in the woods and being 20, 30, 40 minutes to an hour away from something, or from your vehicle or base camp or anything, to be able to get any medical attention or anything, because most of the time we're out, we have no service where we're at. So that's most places you go in the wilderness, you will not have phone service. So be very mindful and try to keep things with you, gauze, anything to pack wounds just in case, whether it's a gunshot wound or a knife wound or anything like that.
yeah, we carry usually where we were at this particular time, if we screamed and hollered loud enough, someone possibly could have heard us. But we generally do carry two-way radios with us, and we try to have someone back at a base camp, and we always kind of stick in pairs, even if we're splitting up. So yeah, just keep all that stuff in mind, because you never know. I mean, there's wild hogs out there, and from what I understand, they're pretty aggressive.
Yeah.
So, Jail, did you hear about the wild hogs down there at Fort Mitchell National Cemetery?
Yeah, just recently. Matter of fact, yesterday I went to a friend of mine's concert there, and a good friend of mine that works there on the park. All that, he's the maintenance guy, does it with thing. But he was telling me about it was just overrun with hogs. He was telling me yesterday. Yeah,
Yeah, I saw pictures. There's probably 150, 200 graves that are just completely rooted up. I mean, it's just looks like a
yeah.
field of dirt. So
Yeah,
yeah,
matter of
but
fact, I told him. I said, I need to sneak back here in this cemetery or close by with my cameras and been watching because that's a Bigfoot buffet going on back there.
yeah,
One
yeah.
one of the most dangerous things in the woods is not always just the possibility of snakes or something like that. Hogs are very, very
Hogs.
mean animals,
Dog man, possibly.
and
I don't know.
Sasquatch.
Yeah, I mean,
But all jokes aside, I mean, hogs are very, very mean creatures, and
Yeah.
male and females tusks aren't as big as the males, but the skull that we
Yeah.
found, well, Chris found the top of
I found the
He found
first
the
one.
top. I found the jaw.
it, with the jaw, the bottom where the tusks come out. The ones y'all can't tell, the tusk on the bottom of the one Chris found are probably 3-4 inches long once you pull them out of the jawbone.
Yeah, and of course I had top ones too. So
Yeah, I mean they can rip you up pretty good, and they're very hard to peel and to get off of you. So always be mindful of that.
yeah, and so whenever all that happened, we all started talking about how we're getting out of here and making a plan just in case. And of course, we were planning on taking the flashlight away from Jesse because he started popping off at the mouth a little bit.
Yes.
He used
Another
it so
thing.
much it went dead. He was the only one that wound up with no
In my
flashlight.
defense, I did not have my go bag ready when I got home to be able to go out the other night.
Not really a go bag.
Because he had been at Oktoberfest, but luckily
Jason
he wasn't
had
drinking.
a Timu flashlight he let me borrow. I got this thing on
Which is-
72%.
which is better than the one he showed up with.
By the time I got done with the thing, it died at 31% and just would not come back on. But in the woods, for some reason, Chris has like 20 of these things, and he just gets so upset when you bring flashlights out around him. I think maybe he was beaten with one as a child. I'm not sure, but he has got a thing about flashlights. Let's talk about that. What is wrong with you and flashlights?
I don't think it's Chris. I think it's Jason Truitt, which he's not on, but he's part of our group too.
Jason Truitt
He will not use a
I
flashlight.
don't think he
man right
brings
there.
one.
That man, we had been out in nowhere, and Jason Truitt would just disappear. I'm like, where's Jason? I don't know. Hadn't seen him. 30 minutes to an hour would go by, and he just popped back up somewhere opposite of where the last time you saw him was. I'm like, where have you been?
Just out of the black
Well, I've
woods.
been walking. No flashlight, no knife, no
He has-
gun, no nothing. Just
He
gone.
has built-in night vision, we think.
Yeah, I think he's a government experiment. They let go. His
Speaking-
contract ran out. That
Spe-
man is scared of nothing.
Yeah. Speaking of the Timu flashlights, if y'all want a really great knife, you can buy one off Timu, and this is what you'll get.
You only get the sheath.
You only get the sheath. Apparently, read the description because I thought I was getting a whole nice knife, and this showed up, and I was excited. I thought it was Christmas,
And man just got a cool looking sheath.
and I got a sheath. That's it. So now I either have to find a knife that will actually fit this, or just start over.
He's going to go back to Timu and try to find the knife to go with it.
I think the weapons I'll stay away from Timu. But yeah. So
But always take a rechargeable flashlight. Take something with batteries. Keep extra batteries with you.
and possibly another belt because my belt broke when we were out there, and I was having to hold my britches up the whole time we were walking around. So I was debating if we had to run. I was debating that I would probably just take my pants off to
What
run
did-
because
what did
if
he
not,
say?
I would trip
What did he
on the
say?
way out.
If Bigfoot showed up, just watch out because he was going to be taking his pants off.
He's getting naked and just taking off.
It would be better than trying to run and hold my britches up and not fall at the
Jason
same time.
totally would have been in the back of the group and been bait that night. I just don't know what else.
With
I
no
mean,
pants
there's
on.
some cliffs on this property. And last time we were out there with Chris, we were walking, trying to get out of there with Jason Truitt, who does not like flashlights. So we did not have a flashlight on. We were just walking in the black of the night, walking to get out of the woods. The next thing we heard was, Chris done fell. Thank God he did. Because a couple more feet, he would have fell off the damn cliff and wouldn't even
What was it, like
See
20, 30 foot gully he'd have fell into?
Yeah.
Something like that.
Don't use a flashlight, though. That's a no-no.
Yep.
Jeremy said, fine print, knife soles.
So Dale, you shared a few videos with me earlier today. I'd like to show those about the tree fall.
Oh yeah, okay, yeah, absolutely.
Yeah. So you want to talk about it first? You want me to share it and then you talk about it?
What I think, this one was it was a couple of years ago, but I had went out in my backyard and I was just gonna set up my camera and just do a video of just nothing in particular, and I about had my camera set up and I heard a big old tree fall. It sounded like it wasn't far from me at all, and you'll see it definitely it'll catch your attention. It did.
All right.
So
Yeah. All right. Let me play that. Chris, you can go out the other door when you come back.
Okay.
you hear people talk this often. Trees just falling from out of nowhere, and wonder if Bigfoot does them or what. We don't know and stuff, and they do fall by themselves. And when you see trees that like this one, the next morning, I think I was on this video. I went over to where I thought I heard that big old crash and found the tree that was falling.
Mhm.
It fell, and it just kind of healthy. I don't know why it fell, but it'll scare you in the middle of the night to hear a tree crash, and you say that they say they don't make a noise when they fall in the forest. They make a big noise.
Yeah.
That brings up
Yeah.
when we were down in Evergreen.
Let's wait and talk about that after he is,
Go ahead.
because I did have that also, because I wanted you to bring that up, talk about it. Let me go ahead and pull this up real quick.
I think that's at the end when I was
Yeah,
looking for whatever made that
Folks, the
noise.
other
So I
night
can-
while I was filming some thermal, I heard a crash back in these woods, and I believe it was this tree. You can see how that's new, how it fell up against that and kind of tore that down. But it's a pretty big tree, and my house is back that way, across the field. So this could be very well where I've been, what I heard that night.
Yeah. So yeah.
That will be a good ways into the woods, and a lot of foliage and everything around for the wind to even knock down a
Yeah,
tree that size.
it should. You should hear the actual break at the start of the film. I didn't hear it though.
Yeah. It showed it. I mean, I was able to hear it. I don't know if it just
Okay.
didn't come through or not, but
Yeah, it was loud.
Speaking of being in the middle of the night and being so far into the woods, David, I'm not gonna say his last name, but part of the guy from the group, we're down a couple of us down in Evergreen, Alabama, and it had to be close to midnight, a little after midnight, around midnight. It was around that time frame. We had set up deep in the woods across a culvert, and we were sitting on top of a hill of an old access road, and it was quiet, and it was cold. And out of nowhere, like we heard nothing come in, and after this happened, we heard nothing go out. And this happened over a span of 15, 20 seconds. It sounded like a freight train hit the woods at the bottom of this hill, and like it just demolished a couple of trees and just made all this crashing noise. And it was so loud and went away as fast as it came. And it freaked us out. Freaked the guys that were set up away from us out. We got on the radios after a minute or so and was like, did y'all hear that? Yeah, we heard it. So we regrouped and went to the bottom of the hill by the culvert and checked out what we could by flashlight and seen nothing. There was nothing that we could see that was torn up from when we came across. Nothing. and it, like I said, the noise went away as fast as it came. And we checked it out the next morning, and we seen nothing. There was nothing new that we had seen the day before that had been torn up or dropped, anything like that. It sounded like a massive tree was just thrown through the brush, and there was nothing indicating anything that could have made that noise that night. And when it came in, the noise just happened. Nothing leading up to it, and as fast as it started, it stopped. And we heard nothing after that. The woods got dead silent after that. So it will and can scare you pretty good to be out in the dark and not to hear anything. And all of a sudden, a bunch of noise happens, and then it just goes silent. So definitely,
I mean, just picture in your house in the middle of the night and something falls or somebody knocks something over. That scares you. But like you said, imagine out in the middle of the woods.
yeah,
And when you, I mean,
it's a different kind of fear when you're out there, for sure.
You can come on back.
I wasn't trying to laugh at you a minute ago, Dale. I got to witness Chris army crawl across the floor to go get some coffee.
I thought y'all were playing Dale's video.
Yeah, so Jesse, that actually wasn't the tree fall that I thought that you were going to tell, because you had one more recently that you experienced.
The same area down in Evergreen, middle of the day. A couple of us were down at Flat Rock's place, and I hate to say I don't remember the guys' names that I met down there that weekend. It was probably about an hour before Stacy Brown had got there. But one of the guys had walked off to the edge of the property toward the woods, and we were just talking, and we heard a big old loud crack and then a loud crash behind it. And we immediately looked that direction, and they started hollering his name, and there was no immediate reply. So we didn't know what to expect. So a couple of us got up and ran over that direction, and he had started coming around the house at that time. Like, did y'all hear that? Yeah, we heard it. We yelled for you and didn't hear anything back. And he's like, I heard y'all yell, but at the moment he couldn't register what had happened. And he claims that he had saw like a flash of brown or something move through the woods. And that's when he had stopped to look. And about that time, this had to be 3 foot around pine tree, had just been knocked over. And we went to look at it and investigate the tree. And the tree was dying, but it had a lot of life left in it for it to break at the area that it did on the
with
stump.
no wind.
With no wind that day, none at all. It's pretty interesting. And the way that tree was positioned in such a thicket, wind wouldn't have blown it over, especially not the amount of life it had left in it. So something had to push it over. We thought that he might have been trying to climb a tree and fell, but there's no way a man his size could have climbed a tree with no branches below 20 feet to grab onto to get high enough to make that thing break. Yeah, Flat Rock. I thought the dude climbed up a tree and fell, but that was not the case. So that was pretty wild to be in the middle of the day, and still pretty scary just to hear that, to know somebody was in that general area when that happened. Kind of freaked us all out a little bit, but he come out okay. It didn't fall in his general vicinity, so he was unscathed by that. But that was pretty interesting. I've not been to that property yet and not had something happen. It's a great place to be and research, and Flat Rock's just a great person, a great host, and
yeah, I'm ready to go back.
Very, very knowledgeable about these things, and I'm glad and blessed to be able to call Flat Rock a friend, and he opens his property up to us to let us get down there and research and stay down there.
Yeah, Jeremy said that those turkeys flapping in the darkness scared him until he knew what it was.
Yeah, I think that scared all of us
the
at
crap
first.
out of me too. Yeah, I had no idea. I was like, "What in the world?"
Yeah, I've never had a turkey run a turkey out of a roost in the middle of the night like that. So
We didn't know
that
what was
the
coming
first.
after Starwood. We had just got in the woods too. We crossed the creek, and then that happened.
Yeah, that was pretty
Yes.
wild.
Speaking of Flat Rocks, we're trying to work. I mentioned it earlier. We're trying to work up to get all the guys together to go camping. So we're looking at doing Tuskegee, and then we're going to go up to Hollins at some point. And I think Doug, if I'm not mistaken, I think Doug is up in Hollins. But anyway, we need some help to get up to Hollins because we've never been there. We don't know where to go.
Yeah.
And then
Hey, I got y'all covered on Hollins. I got all the info you need for that. Just let me know when.
We
All
just
right.
need you to go with us.
Yeah, we do.
I need
You
you.
can be-
I got anybody you need to talk to who will meet you up there, who knows that or help you get set up. Kind of, he's not the overseer of the place, but he knows more about it than anybody up there, and he's the man to see. So let me know when.
Yeah, and of course, we also
Absolutely.
want to get back down in Flat Rock. So we got 3 camping trips that we got to plan
We have to pick a date
for this.
Yeah,
this
we
winter.
got to get off our butts and do that.
Ready to sit around some campfires.
Oh, Lord.
So yeah. So Dale, you also sent me another video of an eye shine that I want to show.
Not trying to cut either one
Go
of
ahead.
y'all off right this second. I want to give a special shout out to my youngest son. He's on watching us now. What's up, Preston?
Hey, Preston.
Hey, buddy.
Preston.
You want to grow up to be a Sasquatch seeker just
Oh,
like your
man.
dad?
How come
he
he
is-
never came out? Why?
He's too young. I don't want to take him out there. I kind of feel like
He could go on some day trips. If
well,
we,
he could go
day
during the
just-
day.
if we do some day trips for looking for
How
stuff.
old is Preston?
Just turned 9. He'll be 10 in January.
Not that you're any more less at risk during the daytime, but
I mean,
you
true.
can- you can see better.
I just feel
but you
see a
can
little
see better. And
he's actually obsessed with Sasquatch, and he loves the fact that I'm into it. I've actually taken him out in the woods, down dirt roads a few times and let him drive.
Yeah.
And, sit in my lap and drive, and we'll look on the side of the roads for tracks. And, he spotted deer tracks and stuff like that. So he's really into it.
Sunday, whenever I went to church, this kid that helps me run the sound and video and all that at church, how old is he? He's probably like 19, 20, something like that. He's like, hey, have you ever heard of the Mothman and this and that? He was naming all these different cryptids. So just by knowing me, he's starting to get into it too. But
It's got to
I
start
don't think he's
somewhere.
into Bigfoot. I think he's going to be more into some of the other cryptids like the Mothman or something. But yeah, I thought it
I've
was
read
pretty cool.
of Mothman over the years. To me, that's one of the ones a little far fetched, extensively to me. I'm not saying it could be a government experiment gone wrong, but just something naturally. I don't think so.
Yeah, yeah.
It is interesting though.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of.
There's a lot of stories.
Oh yeah, especially up north, like Pennsylvania area.
Patrick used to work with us.
What's
Where is
the
he
one
seen
that
it?
supposedly eats human flesh?
Yeah, that's right. I remember him
the
talking
jack,
about that.
the
Oh,
jackal, not a jackal. What is it? I don't remember. Anyway, he was telling me about that. He goes, "You want to go out and look for this one?" And I was like, "No, they eat people."
gosh, not a skinwalker, but the other one I can't think of.
I don't know. I can't think of it either. But getting back to your eye shine you saw, Dale. I want to go ahead and play that if you don't mind.
Yeah. This was taken in. I kind of giving folks an idea what you're looking at, and y'all know where my house is. Y'all been to my house. I was sitting on my front porch, and you see how far the field is across the street from my house to the edge of the woods, and it's pretty good distance. And a lot of times I used to go out there with my flashlight. You was talking about flashlights, and my neighbors knew this because I would shine across in their backyards from my front yard because nothing but woods and stuff, and I'd see deer and stuff a lot of times. But I caught this eye shine one night, and it was humongous. The eyes they looked like they was this big, and they looked like they were just staring at me. So I had my camera, so I walked on out to the woods, not the woods, but into the front yard, just a little bit further, and tried to steady myself up against a tree. But I don't think this was a deer. It had the biggest eyes I ever seen, and it was watching me. But anyway, yeah, played. It was kind of spooky looking.
Yeah, it was. I watched it earlier. I'll go ahead.
Deer's eyes reflect like a
Yeah.
yellowish color, but
These were greenish looking.
They don't, illuminate light very big off their eyeballs, though.
These things are huge.
That's wild.
Yeah, let me go ahead and play it real quick.
I was out
Oh,
here piddling
wrong one.
around on my front porch last night and
What in the world?
happened
Hold
to
on.
bring out some of my cameras and stuff, and so I thought I'd take a peek at the tree
All right, let me get the right one added.
Technical
across the
difficulty.
road over there. See, there's a road and there's a big old field right there. Then the tree line is pretty far away. But this camera has a great zoom. So I had zoomed in way over in here and caught some eye shine.
You can see both the eyes there.
Whatever that
It
is,
gets
it's
real tired
big
once I
because
got
it's
steady
way
against
across
the
the
tree.
street, and it is bright. We got some bright headlights.
Jesus.
Yeah, it is a green eye shine.
That is
I mean,
definitely
Hillary.
look forward facing.
that definitely is not a deer.
Trying to hold it steady as possible. I'm leaning up against a tree.
Deer don't just stare at you. They're going to move. Look at that.
And he took his eyes off of me.
I should probably go get the original video and stabilize it. Look at that. What was
Here
that?
comes a car. Listen to this. Watch how close this is. See what happens. He didn't even
Use
budge.
his head and watches his car. There you go. See it? Look at the car.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, that's not a
Right
deer.
Yeah, he zooms in on a
It
second.
ain't
And
taking
it
his
shows it
eyes
real
off
green.
of me.
Look at that. It's so
If
big.
I lose focus, it's because I can see it so good with my naked eyes that I
That looks to me
take
like
my
it's
eyes
about
off of
4 or
the
5 feet off the
viewfinder.
ground.
It's a bright green.
Yeah, that's right. I remember I could actually see with my naked eyes very well. You know.
That is not a deer.
See how quick he ducked down.
What animal just
There he is.
stands like that with their eyes wide open?
I've never seen a deer do that. I've never seen deer with green eye shine either.
It's like two green reflectors out there or
He's
something.
moving around too much.
See, he moved too.
Yeah, at one time it did. It went straight down and come right back up. See, there you go. Look at that.
Yeah, that's not a deer.
What the hell was that?
I don't know what it was, but I can tell you it wasn't a deer. Not unless that deer's got contact lenses. I've never seen a deer with green eye shine.
And to see how far. See, look how far away it was. Look how far. That freaks me out how far that field is, and it was so
More than likely,
bright.
if it was a deer, it would have been in the field. More than likely out there grazing.
But look how big they were
Yeah,
at the distance that he was.
I do not think they could have been a panther, but I don't think it was a deer.
Mm. They were definitely big and green, and it was something. Yeah, so that was a real good capture, Dale.
Roger Reardon said it could have been somebody playing games with you, Dale.
No, I doubt that. I doubt that. No. And actually, my neighbors had given me permission to research that area. I'm over there, because I'm usually on here on my side of the road, and I've been over there a few times, but there's a lot of gullies compared to my side of the road. I mean, it's real boogerish back there, and I've just never taking anybody with me back there, because it's dangerous to walk into some, in and out and stuff. But if there's a place for a booger to hide, it'd be a place to hide. And I went over there one time. You were talking about pigs and taking firearms with you. I went over there one time. I said, I'm going to just go walk and check this out. And I got lost across the street from my house out in the woods. I went out too deep, and I got this big old red light that's just kind of like behind my house, this radar tower light. So I said, well, as long as I can keep that red light that's almost in my yard in view, I ain't going to get lost. I got out in the woods and that damn red light disappeared.
Yeah.
And I didn't know where I was. I mean, and this was, and it wasn't dark. It was like during the daytime,
Oh, wow.
I wasn't going out there at dark, just during the daytime, and I got lost. But while I was out there, I heard something running towards me. When I couldn't see nothing in the woods. I'm like, oh hell! I heard something running through the woods, like you was talking about.
Yeah.
So I grabbed, and first I thought I was a wild pig, like you're talking about, was charging me. So I pulled out or grabbed for my firearm, and it was a big old pretty dog.
Oh wow!
I was like, thank God, lead to your master. Take me to civilization. Which way do we go?
Yeah.
And I followed him and ended up in a trailer park just right down below my house.
One of the scariest things I've ever had happen, just being on the road. Me and an old buddy of mine, we were young. We've been drinking and riding dirt roads and listening to country music. And
Imagine that.
yeah, imagine that. We
may have some loud sirens come by in a second.
it's
Sorry.
probably 10, 11 o'clock at night, maybe a little later. Yeah, they're going to come by here. Y'all bear with us.
Yeah, before he finishes that, Dale, about how far away was that eye shine from you? Hillary's asking.
I've never been one to judge distance at all. I've never been a hunter or I care nothing about sports. So when you say somebody went 20 yards on the feet, I don't have a clue. I say that's about 3 times as long as my house, whatever. So I don't know. Y'all been in my house. How far you think that it was across at least the football field, at least?
That's probably about, what do you say, about 300 yards?
Probably.
250,
Yeah, at least.
300 yards.
Yeah, so a couple of football fields probably.
Yeah.
Yeah, so pretty
Sirens
good.
are gone. But speaking of the thing charging you like that, Dale, we were in Ghost Town of all places here, and we pulled over to get fresh beer out of the cooler in the bed of the truck, relieve ourselves, and I'm on the driver's side, and my buddy's on the passenger side, and he's closer to the woods than I am on the road, and we're at the bed of the truck on opposite sides, and something startles him. And he's like,
He's distracted looking at his phone.
"You hear that?" I'm like,
measure that distance.
I didn't hear anything. I continue on, and he's like, no. He stops like midstream and jumps in the truck. It's like, come on, we got to go. I'm like, I'm not done. Give me a minute. He's like, no, something's coming. So I wrap up doing what I'm doing, and I'm standing there like looking over the truck bed, like, what are you freaking out about? And I hear something rushing through the brush. Then sounds like it's getting closer, and it's loud. So I'm like, oh crap! I grab my beer and jump in the truck, and we immediately take off. And it sounded like it could have been a hog or a dog, but whatever it was coming fast, and it was large, and it was close enough that I didn't try to turn around or hit the brake lights to see what was coming out of the woods. So
Yeah, like you said, them pigs. If you ever watched videos of wild boars attacking hunters and stuff, they have no mercy. They'll take your calf muscle off your leg in a minute.
absolutely. And one thing a type of hunting I've always wanted to do, and I cannot. There's 2 things I want to do. I can't convince anybody to do with me for some reason. I want to go catfish noodling, where you go in the river and go underwater and bring a catfish out and wrestle like a 60, 70-pound catfish out with your hands. I would like to catch a catfish like that at least once in my life.
Like sticking your hand down into a catfish hole.
Well, they do. You can actually go to Tennessee. You can go anywhere,
noodling.
but I want to go to Tennessee. It's called noodling, hillbilly hand fishing. But you can go on guided tours, and the guide goes down and kind of wears a Kevlar sock, and he sticks his foot in the hole and brings the catfish out to the mouth of the hole, and then
With
you
his
go,
foot?
yeah, with a Kevlar sock on, because catfish have like sandpaper
So what do
teeth.
they bite onto his foot?
Oh yeah. Yeah. He sticks his foot in there. They latch onto his foot, and they go to drag him out. He gets him to the edge of the hole and weighs you down. You go down and take over by putting your fist
See, that's
in the
that's
catfish's
cheating.
mouth.
That's
No.
not like noodling. You got
But it's
to
a
noodle and
guided
stick
tour.
your hand down
That
there
way
by
you don't go
yourself.
out there like a dummy, like I would with 2 or 3 buddies, and go out there and die. You're on a guided tour. They put you on the fish, but you have to bring the fish out. And it's like, I like bass fishing because of the way bass fight and strike. It's like no other freshwater
Right.
fish. So it would just be cool to me to have a life or death fight with a 60-pound catfish.
Or
Can
an
you-
alligator.
Can you imagine what a 60-pound catfish would fight like compared to a 4 or 5 pound bass?
Yeah, I couldn't imagine.
And
But it's fighting attached to your arm. It ain't like on a string. It's them sandpaper teeth are wrapped around your elbow. You fighting them. It's trying to take your arm. You trying to pull it out. So nope. I'll keep my noodling to
You know, some scuba
chicken and
divers
noodles.
went down into Chattahoochee, and they said that there's some catfish in there as big as a Volkswagen
Yeah,
bug.
I have an ex-brother-in-law that was married to one of my sisters, and his dad used to own Dollar Scuba Diving in Smith Station, and he used to do rescue dives and recreational diving down there.
Mm-hmm.
And when I say he is an outdoor freak about reptiles and stuff, he's a freak about it. Like, he used to breed reptiles in his backyard, and he went down there and got hit with a fin up under the dam.
Yeah.
And knocked all his gear off. And he said by the time he got his goggles back on to be able to see, he couldn't even describe the size of the fin that hit him. And he, to this day, will not go back in the Chattahoochee River.
Mm.
To this day. So I
Yeah,
think it'd be
I've
pretty
heard-
cool
I've
for a
heard
life or
there's
death fight
huge
with a
ones.
fish. But I want to do that, and actually going back to the hog thing, more
I agree,
traditional.
Sandra.
It's more of a traditional way to hog hunt, but you have guys with you with high-powered rifles around you just in case. But you pretty much take dogs on a guided hunt, and the dogs pretty much pack in on the hog, and you have to kill the hog either with a knife or a spear, and with your bare hands. And there's 4 or 5 guys around you that have high-powered rifles to take the pig down. The pig gets the better of you and gets to have his way with you. So those are 2 things I would like to do. My wife will not let me do either one of them. So hopefully one day I could at least do one of the 2. But those are on my bucket list to do.
Read that right there
Which one?
on the chat.
You want to jump on a hog Tarzan style.
On the big screen.
Yeah. I mean, that's a possibility, but that's why I said I would like to go on a guided tour.
Hillary said that she had heard of a dude that stuck his hand in a nest of cottonmouths. Oh,
Yeah, that's why I would like to go
I
on
would
a
die.
guided tour and make sure that the guide that's the guide gets the fish and not a gator or a snapping turtle or nest of cottonmouths.
Yeah, you see a lot of women noodling. You ever watch some of these shows where women are noodling? Yeah, women are noodling. Women noodling. I don't
Dolly Parton.
know.
Y'all, we're,
Hey, I think those 2 flotation devices would keep her from going under.
we're collecting donations to get Dale a lawn chair so that he can go watch
it'd be
them car
difficult.
with Dolly Parton. One of those mountains. That was funny.
I'll bring him a lounge chair with me. Yeah, so he'll have one.
You cannot
I'll
say
stay.
your country if you keep your ass in the pool. There is not a creek, a pond, or a river around here that I have not been in.
Well, some people are more country than others.
I'm a redneck. I don't know if
Exactly. See, that's redneck. That's not country.
you can't hide the red on my neck. I've tried.
Yep. So yeah, I'm not going noodling.
Well,
I ain't sticking
that's
my
another
hand.
one that's out.
Out of what?
Going.
Exactly, because we're not freaking dumb.
People do it every day.
Yeah,
See,
we'll
Chris
go
will go to watch. Well, you still got to get in the water.
I don't mind getting in the water. I get in all kinds of water, but I ain't sticking my hand in a hole.
I mean, 9 times out of 10, you're about chest to waist deep, and you have to go down underwater to get into the hole to bring the fish out. But that's the cool thing about the guided tour. The guide does everything but bring the fish out of the hole.
Yeah, you stick your whole lower body 5 feet of you as deep as you can go, kick your feet down into a tunnel until
Yeah.
that catfish bites your foot. Then they help pull you out with that catfish hung onto the your foot. That's
Yeah. And
that's
then you go
yeah,
down
that's
with
the
your
way they
hands and
actually
drag
do it.
the fish out.
Yeah. I'll pass. I'll just stick to get out here
I mean,
searching for Bigfoot.
that's life or death. I mean,
Well, a
with
lot
a
of
60
things are
pound
life
catfish.
and death. Like
I mean, I would just like to do it.
walking outside the house every day is life and death.
I mean, well, I love fishing and hunting, so that's a little different story. But
True.
I think it would be cool to wrestle a 60 pound catfish out of its hole, and just to fight that thing, just to bring it up for a few minutes and get a picture or video with something that massive that you done would be cool. I would mount something that damn big, especially if I caught it with my bare hands.
Yeah.
Well, yeah, have you ever caught a catfish fishing in the little pins spin you? They like got poison in them or something. That hurts. Imagine a 60-pound catfish spinning you.
Well, a 60 pound
Yeah.
catfish has a mouth about that big, so you're worried about it swallowing your arm.
Ugh.
The bigger they are, the more their teeth hurt too. Their teeth are like sandpaper.
David sent you a message.
Squeal like a pig. 2 men with rifles just in case the pig has to sway with it.
Yeah, it's crazy stuff, but yeah, Dale.
Hillary said, "I'm a West Virginia hillbilly, and I've been in all bodies of water here, but I'm older and a little smarter than I was then."
There you go. I agree. We all get like that, you know.
Not as dumb as I was when I was a kid.
So yeah, it looks like we're on our hour, so we'll start wrapping things up here. I did have a few little, I don't know, funny questions to ask. So I'll just ask the group: Would you rather? Is what
Hillary
this is
said that
called.
the pig has a banjo run. Which direction? To it or away from it?
Would you rather spend the night in the woods or a night in a haunted house?
Woods all day long, all night long.
Why? Are you scared of ghosts?
And I'm like, I don't know. I like both of them.
I mean, you can still
I'd
have
like to stay in a haunted house.
spirits and orbs in the woods. I mean, we've all experienced that. I don't think you really have to be in a dwelling to be.
But you haven't been touched by ghosts, have you? Or have you?
To my knowledge, I never have.
My ass got touched at Flat Rocks. And I don't even know if I ever told you that, Flat Rock. But Chris and Craig were witnesses to me saying a whole bunch of cuss words whenever something very warm pushed my leg while I was standing right in front of them. I thought it was them, but they said it wasn't.
I mean, if I'm going to do anything scary, I'd rather be scared out in the woods than in a house or a dwelling of any kind. It would be cool to stay in like an abandoned insane asylum or something.
By yourself.
I don't know about by myself now.
This is by yourself.
Still would. Yeah.
What about you, Dale? You gonna spend the night in the woods alone, or you gonna spend the night in a haunted house alone?
It depends on the temperature. If it's cold, I'm gonna stay in the house. But yeah, if I had to do one or the other, no, I think I would pick the woods myself too. Yeah.
How about you, Chris?
I was going to say this. I don't know. I like both of them. So I don't know.
Chris is into the paranormal type stuff.
50-50. If you had
They
a choice
actually-
right
they-
now, which one would you pick?
Well, I've stayed a bunch in the woods, so I'd probably stay in a haunted house.
So you guys went to a haunted thing the other night. How was that?
Yeah, it was good. I mean, it was just like a tour. It's more of a history kind of thing at the Springer.
And the Springer Opera House is. Do you know how old it is? It's like
It's 18 something.
Yeah.
it's really old.
Springer Opera House in Columbus, Georgia, is haunted, and it's. I don't remember when it was built, but it was 18 something.
Isn't it actually on like the most like the list of the most haunted 100 things in America? Or
It
something?
is. Yeah. Did y'all experience anything?
Yeah.
It was a big.
Yeah, it's on there.
I mean, it's
Those ghost hunts. I mean, they're cool, but it's more of a history type of thing.
that one definitely was.
But
And it
a
was short.
paranormal investigation, I think those get more in depth. And
like what Stacy's going to be doing.
Yeah, if you go out with the right people, I believe it's more intense and more authentic.
yeah, Stacy Brown is actually doing a paranormal investigation at the Old Seal Courthouse in Russell County the night after the night of the town hall, but
Yeah, I've
later that night.
witnessed Stacy in action in the woods doing this, and just being near it, if anything like that unnerves you, it's an experience, whether anything happens with it or not.
Hillary said that definitely a house because let's see, at least you got something to put against your back like a wall. A tree is too small, but ghosts come through walls, so they're gonna grab you right
You
away.
better find you a very big tree to get around.
Yeah. At least the house, you can get out of the house and might be safe, and the ghosts stay in the house. But when you're in the woods, you can go a long ways in them woods.
Which there are woods that are haunted as well.
Oh, yeah.
It was Jeremy that was telling a story about him and a buddy were driving on a trail on 4-wheeler, and he saw an old man, and they turned around, went back, and didn't see him again. But his buddy was like, "Well, what do you look like?" He was like, "Well, he was old, and he had on an old raggedy looking hat and a gray shirt and some old raggedy jeans or something." And the dude was like, "You just described the Civil War soldier." So
Wow.
you never know.
There's actually a place out in Beulah. I know the dirt road is just spider webs around, but there's an old witch's graveyard that goes back to 16 or 1700s that we found one night by complete accident. Dirt road and stuff, and I've been back there a few times. It's been a long time since I've been there, so it'd take me a little while to find it, but it's a pretty cool experience to see things that old, and a lot of the tombs are broken, and
Yeah, I've had a couple experiences. We had Jeremy said that was out in Crawford. Once when I was in Savannah, we were driving through that old cemetery that's there. I can't remember the name of it.
Yeah,
the one where you drive.
I know what you're talking about, but I can't think of the name of it.
And we were going by a grave, and we were talking about the year and stuff, and something slapped the hell out of the car. No trees around.
Oh, wow.
And it scared us to death. And then I was touched in a hotel in New Orleans. I was just laying on the bed, and something run their hands straight down my back, and I levitated off that damn bed so fast and flipped around, and nobody was there. And I'm like, what the hell? Later that night,
that is true, David.
Later that night, I have a travel fan that I take with me. It was right up at the head of the bed, right beside me. It slung all the way across the room to the other side of the room, landing on the floor.
I'd have got a new room.
And then, of course, when we were at Flat Rock, something very warm pushed my leg while we were out in the middle of a field. And so I don't know. I mean, I don't know. I've never personally physically seen a ghost. I know some people have. They've seen apparitions or whatnot. I haven't seen any of those, but I've been touched. And I've asked these people, don't touch me no damn more. I don't like it.
I've heard a lot of things that old property Chris has.
Years ago when I lived in Eufaula, Alabama as a kid, if you ever been to Eufaula, got all these big old humongous beautiful homes, old homes, old houses. Well, we lived in one of those. It was old. It wasn't a beautiful mansion, but it was an old 2-story house. It was the last one before you got to the town that you follow, where you see all the stores and stuff. and actually, it was so big that we just lived in the bottom floor. We didn't even go upstairs. We thought it was haunted. It scared us just because it was empty and stayed dark up all the time. But we just lived downstairs.
Go up there and turn the light
One
on.
night, no, we had lights would come on by themselves sometimes.
See
So that scared us enough as it was. But we were playing one night outside, and in this old historic town, they got actual sidewalks, in front of your house.
Is that it?
So we were playing hide and go seek, and I went behind the house. Them old houses, they sit up 4 or 5 feet off the ground on pillars, So I went up behind the house in the shadow. It was just about to get dark, and I was looking out towards, waiting for somebody to come back there to find me. And I never will forget seeing a white arm. It looked like it had a white coat on. Was on the other side of one of those pillars, was petting looked like a white dog. And I remember just looking at it for a second and turning my head and looking around, see everybody's at, looking back, it was gone. Anyway, I remember my mama was saying I was as white as a ghost when I told her about it. But anyway, a couple of days later, Daddy was telling somebody at work about it. And he said, well, don't y'all live in so-and-so house? He said, yeah, that's where we live at. He said, y'all may not know this, but a veterinarian used to live in that house and passed away there. And I thought that was because it was a white vet, I guess like a doctor's coat was petting a white dog. And I was just probably 13 years old or something like that, but I never will forget that.
Yeah. We got a couple of comments I want to talk about. David brought up Wendigos. We were talking about that. Wendigos. We were talking about that earlier.
Wendigos.
We were talking about different cryptids, and yeah, I heard that they'll eat you. So I definitely don't want to mess with them.
Or
But
skinwalkers.
yeah. Hillary said that, or not Hillary, Flat Rock said that a lady also got touched the very next weekend after I got touched on his property. He posted that in the comments saying it was basically the exact same words that I used. I don't know. It freaked me out. I actually have a video of it. Of course, I can't post it because there's a whole bunch of cuss words in it, but you wouldn't want to watch it anyway because all it is the camera shaking around me asking what the heck just happened. But yeah. So that's interesting to know that someone else also got touched.
Yeah.
So
There's a lot of stuff that goes on in Flat Rocks.
it does. So I mean, ghost, or is that like a mist or
Well, we got on the trail camera side.
or
I
a
definitely
Bigfoot that we just can't see?
I definitely put that around the spirit range and the orbs being able to touch you, because Chris has been touched by an orb.
Unless if it was a Bigfoot that we just couldn't see because it was refracting the light or something. Yeah, Chris got.
I was gonna bring that up. I was gonna ask if y'all thought maybe some ghost could, like earlier in the interview I did earlier, they was looking at it, and Barnaby, talked about how the juvenile video, the book I call it, looked like a ghost monkey. So, if that thing come my camera like that, they can look in your windows, your house anytime. And you would never see them, So who could? What says they can't come up in your house?
Maybe that's why we can't find them, is because they have the ability to do something with light. Who knows? I mean, of course, that's going beyond the realm of flesh and blood, possibly, but who knows? But like I said, they're supernatural, whatever they are. Flesh and blood can still be supernatural, but and when I say supernatural, I just mean they got like superpowers that we don't understand. If you want to call them powers, I don't know. Chris got his belt loop broke, so he and Tracy Brown were doing some research and ended up seeing some orbs, a lot of them, very scary, kind of freaky, like how the heck is this even possible type stuff. But while he was doing that, he was pushed or pulled.
I don't know. I thought I was pushed, but I'm starting to think more that something pulled my belt, but nobody was around me when it happened.
David said, "Careful not to step in the shadow of a shadow creature." I've heard that.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so Chris's belt loop got broke by something that he couldn't see. I mean, I don't know. I mean, whenever I got touched on my leg down there, I mean, it wasn't just the gentle, just a touch. My leg was literally pushed, like hard.
Yeah, that's the way.
Whatever it was,
apparently one of them ghosts tried to have.
And whatever it was warm as hell.
It caused me to go forward 2 or 3, 4 steps. That's how hard it was pushed or pulled. I'm not sure if it grabbed the belt. I don't know.
I'm trying to have his way with you.
Yeah, so that's I think a lot of people experience very unexplainable things. That's for sure.
I agree with you. I do not do spiders whatsoever.
Yeah. Here, Jesse's scared of a ghost touching him, but he's gonna stick his arm in a freaking catfish mouth.
Hey, that's totally different.
You're in control on that one, aren't you?
A spider, I have 8 little legs, and
no. And you can eat a catfish. Yeah,
exactly.
So I guess that was Miss Pat Flat Rock that you're talking about. I'll have to ask her about that. Compare notes.
Connor's on.
I said, "Hey, Connor."
I know.
Connor Flynn?
Connor Price.
No, Connor.
Oh, what's up, Connor? What's that say? Cruising with Connor.
I think he made that when he was
going around the world.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Connor is Chris's son, and he's had some pretty cool experiences, not with Bigfoot and stuff like that. I don't guess. I mean, he went down to try to see the lights as well.
Yeah, nothing happened that weekend.
But him and his girlfriend, they have a little, what kind of vehicle is that white?
Oh, it's What are you talking? The Volkswagen?
Yeah.
It's kind of keeps Westphalia.
Yeah.
It's like the camper, the Volkswagen van that's a camper type.
Yeah, the one where the like top lifts up and
Yeah.
it's like a camper. But they traveled all over the United States and got to go to a bunch of really cool parks and stuff like that. So anyway, I just seeing him on there, I thought about that, which was really, really cool.
How many more questions you got over there?
I got a bunch of questions, but we'll wrap it up in a second. Would you rather run out of bug spray or toilet paper?
Whoa.
But no, let's skip that one.
No, I got to answer that one. That's a tough one. I think I'm going to have my TP. I'm gonna go with it. I'd rather run out of bug spray.
Yeah, probably so. It wouldn't be fun running out of toilet paper.
Of course, when we're out here on these trips, it's a struggle.
Very.
It's a struggle. Like, do you take a 5-gallon bucket with you? Do you take bags? You know, what do you do? But anyway, that's a conversation for another place and time.
Hey, don't take propane. You'll kill yourself like Chris tried to.
Yeah, Chris really did almost
Yeah, that was close.
check his box on that. He had one of those buddy heaters, and apparently his sensor that senses when carbon monoxide is detected didn't work, so the heater never cut off while he was sleeping in his tent, and he woke up and could barely function to be able to unzip his tent. Of course, his mattress also caught on fire, but that's Would you rather see glowing eyes in the dark or hear children's laughter when no one is around while you're
Well,
in
like
the
I
woods?
said, you can always use a pine cone.
Mm,
Chris come up with them corn cob days.
mm. Yeah, that would hurt. So
In the woods, I would go with the eye shine.
Me too.
Well, I think I'd have to do eye shine no matter what. I don't think
I know,
I'd want to hear
I wouldn't want to
kids
hear.
laughing
That
somewhere.
just be spooky.
No. Oh, all right. Well, I guess we'll wrap this thing up. Dale, you have anything to add?
No. I think you about covered everything that we want to talk about, and a lot of stuff we didn't want to talk about, but it was fun. I enjoyed it.
Yeah, we just wanted tonight to be kind of lighthearted, not go into too many local stories. However, I did do a lot of research this week on military bases in regards to sightings and stuff, and Fort Benning, Fort Moore, Fort Benning, Fort
Benning.
Moore, back to Fort Benning, whatever
It's
the base
Fort
is
Benning.
called here in Columbus, Georgia. But there's been quite a few sightings over there, and actually pretty aggressive. I think someone actually got killed. This was back in the 60s,
Oh, wow.
which I'd never heard about it. But anyway, so I'm going to pull some of that stuff together and we'll talk about it one night.
Yeah, I can tell you all about that, and I think it was in 1977 when that happened out at I think
So
it's
you've heard
Kelly
about it.
Hill at Fort Benning. So yeah, oh yeah.
Yeah, so I'm going to pull some of that stuff together and we'll talk about it on one of our future podcasts. No kids in the woods, Hillary said. I agree. I don't want to hear kids anywhere while I'm alone in a dark or a haunted place. But yeah. Anyway, so we'll wrap this up. I want to thank all you guys for joining us tonight. It's been
thanks
fun.
all y'all. We'll give a couple of special goodbyes to Preston and Corbin and Connor, David, Flat Rock. I appreciate all y'all tuning in
Hillary.
tonight.
Doug,
Dale, we appreciate you being on with us again, brother.
Thank you so much.
Sandra.
Y'all always remember, knife pointed away when you try to open something. Don't be like Chris.
Yep.
You're exaggerating.
Yeah, so that's it, you guys, for Squatch Seekers of the South. Until next time, keep your eyes open, your cameras ready, and your tents zipped.
Y'all stay squatchy, guys.
Have a good night, y'all.
Have a good week.
Squatch seekers of the South, searching for truth, debunking the doubt. The answers are there if the questions don't count. The Squatch seeking seekers of the South. East Central Alabama, near the Georgia line. The mighty Chattahoochee running deep and wide. There's talk of hairy creatures running about, and a group of Squatch seekers steady stalking the south.